After seeing so many Disney princess movies, I've been wondering what it would be like if I made my own princess. That's why I'm taking you guys along as I brainstorm different ideas, sketch different outfits, expressions, and royal hairstyles, and finally ink and color the finished result. So here I'm searching up some inspiration on Pinterest, and I'm searching Princess Rapunzel, who's my all-time favorite Disney princess, and I really like this picture. So what I do when I like a picture on Pinterest, I'm going to save it to my board. That way I can look back at everything. Let me show you really quickly what my board looks like. I titled it the OC, or Original Character Princess Board, and I have real life pictures, some sketches. All these sketches are done by very talented people, some real life royalty, and some Disney cartoons like Sleeping Beauty and Rapunzel, just to give you guys an idea of what it is I'm going to be using. And I'm just grabbing my handy dandy sketchbook and I'm going to start sketching. So I knew for sure from all the pictures the princesses have super tiny waists and these super puffy dresses. So I really wanted to emphasize that difference from the small to the big. And in the middle, I decided to make an open part, and in the open part, there's a bunch of ruffles. And the shoulders, the sleeves are what really got me. I'm like, I don't know if I should do puffy sleeves, or if it should be a sleeveless dress, or if it should be like a sweetheart neckline dress. And I finally decided I'll make them like a half sleeve kind of a dress. You'll see what I mean later on. And after getting like a vague idea of what I wanted, I decided I'll sketch a brainstorm one more time, and I'll actually draw in the hair and her expression. I thought it'd be kind of cute if she's wearing this really extravagant dress, but she's like really shy. So that's the kind of thing I ended up going with. So you can see I put a bunch of ruffles and puffs and all these details on her dress, but she has just a really modest, kind of shy smile expression, and I really like the way it looked in the end. I also decided to add roses to her dress. I don't know why, it was kind of a last minute decision, but I'm happy I did because it adds that little something something. I added it right on the neckline and I added four on the edge of these little poofs at the beginning of the dress. Also, I added some pleats to the dress. Like aside from the ruffles, I made some pleats just to give the dress a little bit of swooshiness, a little bit of motion, just so that it's not too plain. And for her hair, I gave her like a side part with some curled bangs, and I just put it up in a bun. I was also thinking about if I should give her a crown, but I thought if I gave her a crown, it would distract too much from the actual bun. So as much as I wanted to design a crown for this princess, and I know it's not a princess unless she has a crown, I decided not to give her a crown. Princesses mainly had one main color, and then the rest of the colors in their dress were like accent colors. And this took me forever. I was not sure what color I was gonna do. I was like, maybe it should be blue, maybe it should be pink, but I'm like, I don't think I draw a lot of purple stuff, so I'm gonna make her purple. And I chose to do it like a light, like a pastel kind of purple, and I used a little bit of a darker purple to shade. You'll notice once I do the shading on the right side compared to the left side, I feel like the right side shading looks more smooth, and I think that's because I waited less to start shading. Like right after I colored it, I started shading. Whereas on the left side, I started shading a little bit after I colored it. And I think it made a difference. But for me, it's honestly not that big of a deal, so I just let it be. I didn't see it as that big of a problem. But yeah, I'm just finishing shading this dress, and this drawing took me a really long time to do because I didn't want to mess it up, so I was really taking my time going through with it. But I really had fun doing this. Like, it was really fun to design your own princess. I definitely recommend if you love drawing big, puffy dresses and designing your own characters, you should definitely try this. Now, I also shaded under the big poofs, just because I thought since they're so ginormous, they'd probably have shadows under them. And yeah, now I'm going to go in and start coloring in the ruffles. And I was debating on this because I knew I wanted the ruffles to be purple as well, but I didn't want the purple to be so close. So this is a little bit of a different purple. It's like kind of pinky purple, and I don't think it's too similar. Like, it's enough contrast where you can tell that they're two different colors. So thumbs up to that. I'm really happy about that. And I learned my lesson from shading the dress. So instead of coloring it all and then shading it, I color a section and then I shade the section and then I color a section and shade the section and so on. Man, could that be a tongue twister? Shade, color. Color the section, say shade the section. Color the section, say shade the section. I keep messing that up. I don't know if it's just me. But yeah. And when I'm looking back at this, I think it's definitely really Princess Rapunzel inspired, because Rapunzel has similar purples in her dress. And I was trying not to make it solely inspired by one princess, but I can definitely see with the color scheme it does resemble Rapunzel in that way. But for the dress, I tried to incorporate a lot of different princess looks. Like, Rapunzel's dress wasn't as puffy, and I know Sleeping Beauty's dress had this little corset thing that I really liked. I'm not sure what it is that I liked about it, but I really like that design component about it. And I know there was this other dress that was just huge, and I'm like, okay, I have to do a huge dress like that as well. And the roses, that came from Princess Belle's dress. I don't know if it was on my board, but I was looking at Princess Belle dresses as well. Oh, wait, yeah, it was. Emma Watson dresses. And you know how a rose is a really big thing in Beauty and the Beast? I decided to make that part of the dress as well. And I'm glad I did, because it makes it not all purple, because I colored the roses in pink. So it added a little bit of another color in there, which I'm happy about. Then for like the beads and the ribbons across her dress, also for the corset part, I decided to make that purple. I was debating on leaving it white or if I should make it purple, but I decided to make it like a dark purple to really give it some contrast. And I think it looks nice, but I feel like this dress could have used a little bit of a darker color. Like, when I'm looking at it, I feel like it might have been too light. If I could go back, I would have incorporated a little bit more of dark stuff just to balance out the dark and the light. But besides that, I'm really happy with it. So for these sleeves, as you can see, like her puffy half sleeve things, I really wanted to give them a see-through effect. So I was thinking, I'm like, how am I going to go about this? So I'm going to use the skin tone, and I'm going to use the colorless blender to try to make it seem a little bit lighter. I'm going to look, do I do that right now? I think I'm going to do that right now. Right now I'm just shading in the arms, but after I shade the arms, I'm pretty sure I'm going to try it. And it was really difficult, believe me. I was so scared that I was going to mess it up. And for shading, I don't like to go too overboard on shading. Like, if I already shaded a lot for the dress, I don't like to shade the skin too much. So that's why I'm doing like really light shading. But yeah, and now I'm going to move on to the sleeves. So the way I went about this, I started with the skin tone and I colored it super lightly. Like, I put little to no pressure on the paper, and then really quickly I took it away and I drenched it with the colorless blender. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It does have a see-through effect. Not as subtle as I would have wanted, but it still works. I think it definitely worked out. And then I shade it a little bit with gray just to show that some of the fabric is overlapping itself. But yeah. Then here I'm moving on to the face. I'm just coloring it in with the same color. Also, I was really excited about these rosy cheeks. I really wanted to make them really noticeable because I wanted her to look so cute. And I might have gone a little overboard on the rosy cheeks, but it's okay. If there's something you can go overboard on when it comes to drawing, it's rosy cheeks. So, it's okay. Then I'm just going in and adding in the finishing touches, like her beautiful blue eyes and her rich dark brown hair. Now, another thing I was struggling on, the hair color. I had no idea what color I was going to do her hair. I was like, should I make her blonde? Should I make her a brunette? Should I make her have black hair? Should I make her have red hair? By the way, black hair scares me because it's so dark and I'm always afraid that the liner isn't going to show up, but that's not the point. Anyway, after much deliberation, I finally decided I'm going to make her a brown hair person just because I felt like the yellow might be too bright because I don't have a very great blonde color. It's more of like a highlighter yellow. So I decided brown is the safest choice. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think that there's anything else I add. Yeah, I'm holding it up, so that's what that means. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to receive notifications every time I post a new video. See you!